Okay, got a fun fact for you. Only two players in NBA history have led two different franchises to 55 win seasons without a top 75 teammate. Only two players have done this. Okay? So they led a team to a 55 win season and then went to another franchise and did it again. Okay? Without a top 75 teammate. Those two players are Scottie Pippen and Dennis Johnson. You may be familiar with Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson was the starting point guard for the 80 Celtics team. And he was 9 times all defense. And he was the finals MVP of the 1979 Seattle Supersonics. Okay? What is a little bit less known is that he had a stint wherein he played with the Phoenix Suns. And during that stint, he led the 1981 Suns to 57 wins. And the second best player on that team was Walter Davis and another player, Truck Robinson, both 18-point per game scorers, neither of them Hall of Famers. Okay? Scottie Pippen famously led the Chicago Bulls to a 55-win season in the 1993-94 season. And what he sort of gets discounted in terms of his legacy for doing is the fact that he did it again with the Portland Trail Blazers. Okay? Now, the Portland Trail Blazers essentially, I don't know if Clyde Drexler retired. I believe he retired. And then Scottie Pippen kind of took his position. And that Portland team, to be fair, was a good team. But what needs to be known and taken note of is the fact that that Portland Blazers team, that Trail Blazers team, came literally within 15 minutes of advancing to the finals, a finals in which they would have been favored and likely would have captured the NBA championship. Okay? So, why do I bring this up? I bring this up to support the argument that I have made in a couple of videos. And that is the power of intangibles. Dennis Johnson is a career 15-point per game scorer. Not a lot of assists, not a lot of rebounds. But he won 3 chips with the Boston Celtics. So you can say he was, quote, carried. But how is it that he's able to win a chip with the Seattle Supersonics and Jack Sikma, who wasn't a slouch, but I mean, he certainly was no all-time great. How is it that he was able to win a championship? And then they went to the finals the prior year, too. Okay? How is this marginal NBA player achieving so much if what LeBron fans say in terms of stat line is so important? If it's all about stat lines, why is Dennis Johnson, why did he have so much success prior to playing with the Boston Celtics? And then it's really just foolish to think that Boston Celtics team is as successful as they were. I think he had 2 chips with the Boston Celtics. He had 3 overall because he wasn't on the 81 team. But he was an integral part of that '84 and '86 championship team, which both of which are among the greatest teams in NBA history. Scottie Pippen, same thing. Scottie Pippen's career record without Michael Jordan is 295 and 187. Jordan's record without Scottie Pippen is 154 and 170. So here you have a couple of players with, really marginal all-star numbers achieving tremendous success with defense and intangibles. But we keep hearing about, 28, 7-7, and the oldest, the most points scored at a certain age, and the 51 point performance in a losing effort in game 1 against the Warriors, the 2018 finals. We keep hearing about these amazing statistical performances. That is not winning basketball. Okay? Dennis Johnson did it with defense and doing the little things and playing team basketball. This is what Scottie Pippen meant when he said that Michael Jordan was a terrible basketball player. He wasn't saying that Michael Jordan wasn't talented. Of course he's talented. What he's saying is that the impact on winning. Let me read you some of the teammates Michael Jordan played with while he was accumulating a less than 500 record. Okay, Orlando Woolridge played quite a few seasons and scored 20 points per game in some of those seasons. Richard Hamilton, Jerry Stackhouse, Charles Oakley, and he played with George Gervin. To be fair, this was the year MJ got hurt, but he did play in the playoffs with George Gervin. The year after George Gervin was an all-star. Okay? Now, to be fair, within that 295 and 187 record of Scottie Pippen is a stint wherein he played with Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon one season. So let's take that 31 and 19 away. Okay? That Houston team went 31 and 19. Let's take that away. You still have a great series. You still have a great record. Okay? And the players that Scottie would have did this with include Rasheed Wallace, Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, Tony Kukoc. A good group, but I mean, there are no ain't no top 75 players in there. No top 75 players in there. Okay? So intangibles are essential to a championship team. And I think we need to start thinking about evaluating these great players in terms of their impact on winning and not just looking at the stat line. Otherwise, like I told a bronzexual on Twitter earlier today, I can't wait till 10 years from now when, Luka, for instance, starts accumulating so many stats that his fans start making the case that he's greater than LeBron, but he only has 2 chips. Because I'm sure that's coming. Luka's going to have never made an all-defense team. He's going to have 2 chips, a bunch of points, and an amazing career stat line. Luka may well, the way the league is going, he may well average more than 30 points a game for a career. And so you'll have Luka fans talking about he's the GOAT. completely forgetting the whole concept of winning. Now to be fair, Luka's having a good series this year. He's having a good season this year. But the point is, we can't reward with the status of greatest of all time a player whose main achievement was individual. We can't, or else that's the type of basketball we're going to get. We're going to get players that are mostly focused on their own accomplishments, their own individual stats, and to the detriment of the team. And I think we've seen that in the latter half of LeBron James's career.